new developments are happening with the story at Horology House and Chris. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but I just want to have a discussion. So apparently Chris was a gambling addict, and at what point do we say, you know, or give him a slap on the wrist saying, you know, he has an addiction, it's a very serious problem, it impacts his family, potentially his house, his finances, all that stuff. You know, he's in dire times. Do we feel sorry for the guy, or do we still hold him accountable? And it's a difficult choice for the judge to make if this goes to trial or whatever. And it's a really hard job to do, because a lot of crimes occur because, you know, people are in desperate times. You know, a kid could be stealing to help put food on the table for his mother and father who are unemployed. And so do you step in and say, well, you know, you're trying to do the right thing, you're just going about it criminally. So do we say that in this case? And I would say it probably isn't the first time. So I still think we hold him accountable, because there's a circle of life here. You know, the buyer is now out 20K. Now he can't spend 20K on goods and services. He can't spend the 20K on his family. And so there's a financial impact to the economy and not just the buyer. So I do still think that he is guilty. But yeah, gambling is a very serious addiction, and it's very real. You know, I've played poker before. I played blackjack, and poker is just so grueling on the body, sitting there for 6-7 hours to win a couple $100. It's very tough. And blackjack is just, you know, the highs are not that high. It's just numbers, but the lows are really low. You start thinking, you know, what could I have used this money for? How do I get out of this hole? And you start coming up with all these different theories, like selling fake watches to get out of the hole, and you never really do. Even if you make it out, you think, well, I've made it out. I've made 100K. Let's make another 100K and be in the positives. And that's when you start to get into trouble. So I think it's a very tough position for him to be in, but again, you have to be held accountable for your actions here. I've been defrauded before, not that much, but I've you know, sold a pair of tickets to a concert before because I couldn't make it, and that buyer later called me and said that one of the tickets didn't work, and then he was threatening you know, a lawsuit or whatever for over a couple $100. I said, sure, no problem, here's your money back. I'll deal with this later. I called Ticketmaster. They said, yep, both tickets were valid. They were both entered into the venue, and so I don't see the problem here, but we'll refund you the money. So no real big loss to me, but I did feel super violated. I mean, imagine the guy forking over 20K and then having sleepless nights for 3 months wondering where his money is. And then on top of that, getting a fake watch is just, it's heartbreaking. So you really do feel violated. You feel personally attacked, even though it might not have been personal. It's hard to let that go as a victim of fraud. So I still think he has to be held accountable. You do have to look at the history, you know, if you're a judge, and see how many times this has been done to sentence the proper sentence. And so it's really difficult to be in that position, but yeah, the question begs here is, like, what does he get, and how easy or hard do you go on someone? You know, what is the full background? And that's what the courts are for. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Sorry about the audio. This is not a high quality channel like Horology House. This is just for fun. I'm using my iPhone here to film. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Does this add to the story that he's a gambling addict? You know, should we feel sorry for him, or do we hold people accountable? So yeah, let me know down below.